I'm going to
Thanks.
switch over because we're going to be talking about theater in a different way because we're not doing a musical play, I don't think, although you did the Sister Act, right?
We're
you're
doing
doing it now?
nonsense at the
Huh?
moment.
Oh, nonsense. Did I say the
yes.
Sister Act? Yeah,
Yes.
I did. Nonsense, I knew what it was. And I think I put Sister Act. I hope you changed that when I had it on the screen, Sister Act.
It wasn't listed, it was just a photo that I saw.
Okay, all right,
so-
all right, good.
But it's nonsense.
If I did, I apologize. I don't know why I said Sister Act, just because they were in nuns. I mean, what was I thinking?
Could be Agnes of God. too,
Agnes
you know?
of God. You do the serious stuff, too.
We do, and we're doing that later this summer. The David Ives' New Jerusalem is
Yeah, and
much
you know,
more of a serious play.
I looked up that play because I was not familiar with New Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
And when I looked it up, it takes place like in the, what, the 1800s?
1656.
Or 60, well, I'm off a couple centuries, you know. which I can't be right on
I only know that
everything.
because it's part of the subtitle of the very long subtitle of the play. Yes, it takes place in Amsterdam in 1656.
Not Amsterdam here.
No, which is why we're not using the subtitle, because it gets very confusing, because we're also doing it in July, and that's part of the subtitle too. So
Oh, really? So you got to be careful what you're doing.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
yes.
So, but tell us a little bit about the plot, and without giving everything away, because I found it to be rather interesting and also was not familiar with it.
Yes, it's the story of Baruch de Spinoza, who was a Jewish philosopher in Amsterdam in 1656.
Do we know him as Spinoza?
Spinoza, yes. Spinoza,
I mean, okay.
Spinozism, I believe, he's a major philosopher.
Okay.
And he was a rationalist, which is the concept that one's intellect is more important or takes precedence over one's emotions. In a nutshell. That's,
Well, I mean, I guess that
so
makes sense.
what Mr. Ives
I didn't know it had a name.
And what Mr. Ives has done is created this Ramana Clef, if you will, of this actual trial that took place.
So this
call
is
it a trial
a
is incorrect.
reenactment,
With-
sort of something. I mean, granted, you know,
It's
take
his
take
interpretation
poetic
of what the conversation may have been, because
Right.
there is no actual, it's not like-
transcript. Now, nobody
there's
was doing
there-
the thing.
Exactly, there's no transcript of what was actually said. So he has put together this conversation as he believes that it probably would have taken
Yeah.
place. And it's
So why is
it
he on
has,
trial? Why is he on trial?
his.
Because they don't like
his-
the rationalism, or
Exactly. His philosophies were considered to be atheistic.
or
and
like a
very-
humanist? Yeah.
And very controversial at the time. And because the Council of Amsterdam allowed the Jewish community to be there, it was a live and let live kind of situation.
This was in
And
the 1600s?
in the 1600s.
Oh my gosh.
Amsterdam is has always been a very progressive city.
Yeah.
And so there was this Portuguese Jewish community, and of which Spinoza was a member, and he talked about his philosophy with members outside the community, which is what bothered the...
Oh, because it wasn't contained.
Exactly. And so they felt threatened by these ideas. And so in order for the Jewish community to continue living in peace in Amsterdam, they had to have this moment, this conversation, trial, if you will. And as a result, Spinoza was excommunicated. And
From what?
From the Jewish community and from his family.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah. So that's what is discussed and the focus of the play is on that.
So this is a real person, and
It's a real person,
it's
real
a
event.
dramatic characterization of what perhaps occurred at that time.
Exactly.
Whatever happened? Now I'm enthralled with the story. I know we should be talking about the play, but did he die in exile? What happened?
He did. He died in exile at the age of 44.
Ooh, he was young.
This happened when he was 23, I believe, if I remember correctly. And
he?
He is buried in The Hague, in a
Okay,
Christian,
yeah.
in a Christian cemetery in The Hague.
Really? That's interesting. That's where they have all the war crime, is it The Hague, yeah.
Yeah.
This sounds like a really great play.
It is.
What
It's
made you
fascinating. It's
choose
fascinating.
this, or who chose it?
Who chose it? Homemade Theater chooses things. We have an artistic committee, so it's about 9 members on that committee, and we read plays together, and we discuss them, and then we choose a season
From that.
from
And how many
that.
plays do you do a season?
Normally, we do 4 plays, 4 main stage plays, and then we do a fundraising murder mystery type event, and we do a musical youth theater conservatory.
Oh, you do? Okay.
That's pre-COVID. During COVID, we did something just about every month.
But you did
And
virtually.
We did do 1 live performance outdoors in October. We did Molly Smith Metzler's Cry Out, which was directed by Patrick White. And we
Yeah,
did that
terrific guy,
outdoors.
terrific director.
Yes, he is, and a mainstay of Capital Region Theater.
Absolutely.
And we also did a sort of musical review moment, which was a Halloween-themed thing, more family-oriented, at the end of October.
Enjoyed the
Then
kids
we
could
went
enjoy it.
virtual
Yeah.
for up until Nonsense. Everything has been virtual. So
So where do you perform all your wonderful performances and?
we have been performing out of the Spa Little Theater in Saratoga Spa
Yeah,
State
yeah.
Park, thanks to the
Great
Parks and
location,
Recreation,
yeah.
Recreation Department. We are very grateful to them for letting us use that space. We are hoping to go back there in the fall, but as has been previously discussed today, it remains to be seen.
Everybody's kind of like on pins and needles, and, you know, I know Proctor's, they're gonna be teching 3 shows here, 3 big Broadway shows, and, you
Right.
know, now, one thing with Broadway and equity and everything, everyone has to be vaccinated, so there's no danger of them, you know, getting into any trouble, and of course, everybody at Proctor's here is vaccinated as well, so we have to be vigilant and be protective, because we don't exactly, this virus
Yes,
doesn't send
and-
out a press release.
Yes, and I think you brought up a very important point in that the state may say that, yes, you can open. It doesn't necessarily follow that every organization is going to be ready to
Or
open,
comfortable.
or comfortable in opening, and each organization is going to have to decide for itself what they're comfortable with and what their audience is comfortable with.
Exactly,
And
because you can do it, and if nobody shows up, nothing's really been accomplished.
Exactly. And so, the outdoor events are, I think people are very comfortable with
Very
those,
comfortable with that.
Moving indoors is another story, and
Yeah.
what that entails is another story. And I think as we progress through the summer, we'll have a clearer picture. Of
I
course,
think
as
it's gonna have to
artists,
be-
we have to plan now for then, so it's.
So it's kind of
becomes-
like,
Yes, you
you
pull
know,
out your
it's-
crystal ball and you gaze
you
into
hope.
it.
and hope that it comes up.
Exactly.
Right, Eric? The thing with performances and things, we just don't know, and I know I read in the paper that Schenectady County is like 76% vaccinated, and yet like Fulton County is like way down there, hasn't been vaccinated. I mean, so,
Yeah, Mohawk Valley seemed to be the
Mohawk
lowest
Valley's very
from-
bad,
yeah,
too.
When I was.
yeah,
when
well, I
was
say
sick.
bad, but poor,
Right, 60
yeah.
something percent, or around 60%.
Well, that's a good number, actually.
Yeah, but it was still the lowest in the state.
Yeah, yeah.
Yesterday, anyway.
So when we look at this, you know, it might be different in different locales on how people are, you know, moving
Yeah,
forward.
and even, for example, New Jerusalem, we're doing at 2 synagogues, and we're
I
doing.
saw that, and we should say when it is, too, because you
Yes,
usually
July
do it, at
25th at
the
Shara
spa, but these are-
Tefillah in Saratoga on Weibel Avenue, and August 1st at Congregation Beth Shalom in
it's
Clifton
Saratoga.
Park.
Oh, Clifton Park.
That's Clifton
Okay.
Park. Mm-hmm.
I put that,
2 performances each day
okay.
at
1
1
and
and
5,
5.
yeah.
Yes. Thank
what
you,
I
I
wrote.
had to remember.
Yeah, I wrote down 1 and 5 somewhere, but
Yeah, it's 1
it
and
isn't
5,
on this
yes.
piece of paper, but I wrote it
Yes.
somewhere.
And there'll be information on our website about
And there is a
that.
charge for this
Yes,
because you gotta.
$25.
You gotta
It's fairly
pay rent
reasonable.
too
Yes,
and, you know,
exactly.
costumes and everything. How many characters in your,
This is a 7-character play,
oh, wow.
and we're sticking with smaller cast
I think everybody
things
is. They're
at-
picking plays with one
for
or
a
two
while.
characters for
Yeah,
a while.
Probably at least through the fall.
Yeah, good. Well, Eric, thank you for being here and telling us about Homemade Theater, and I hope you'll come back again. I think this might be your first,
It is. It's actually, I just
welcome.
started. Thank you very much. I appreciate being asked to be here. And I just started as the general manager of Homemade Theater in September of 2019, just in
Oh,
time.
just in time to
Just in
shut down.
time for the
Weren't you
shutdown.
lucky?
Yeah, so the majority of my tenure has been during COVID, and
Yeah.
what a joy that has been.
well, you know what? It just comes part of the itinerary, you know? You just say, this is what happened this year and then next year, and we hope
Yes.
we open up a little
Yes.
bit more.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you for being here.